Yo, what's up, Hercene, and what's up, ESO community? Guys, today I bring a very special video. Me and my friend Rams, aka Miggy, as you can see on the screen there, him and I want to do something special. We saw the achievement to get the flawless dungeon run and March of Sacrifices, Survival of the Fittest, I believe is what it's called. So we wanted to 2-man it, clear every encounter, clear all the bosses, and that's what we're gonna do here. So I'll kind of go over kind of a walkthrough. I went ahead and skipped all the ads just to save time on the video. But on the first boss, we come to the Three Sisters. What I normally do is I'll try to keep an eye on where Rams is, because he's tanking the sword and board with the green circle around him. And I'll just kind of keep an eye on his health bar to make sure I keep Rams healed when I can. And then I'll kind of watch where that green guy is too. So when she goes to charge attack, I'm ready to either roll dodge or block out of it, so I don't get knocked down. And then right here, I try to focus on the healer as much as I can. I feel like if you go for anybody else, the healer will constantly try to heal them and stuff like that. I feel like it makes the fight take a little bit longer. So here I just try to melt the healer as fast as I can while keeping an eye on Rams and the person he's trying to tank. So here comes the bash there. I was able to roll dodge out of it. So that's what I do on the first fight here. Just kill the healer, keep an eye out on the archer because you need to interrupt his attack from time to time. And then just watch Rams' health bar in case he needs healing from time to time. Anyway, that's all I did on the first encounter. Go ahead and just enjoy the rest of this encounter here. And then I'll come back and talk to you guys about the second encounter and how we did it and what we like to do. So, first encounter, just try to get rid of the healer, then focus on the archer, and then focus on the last person, the green arrow, or green circle. Just remember that with the circles, you don't want to keep them gathered up together. You want to kind of keep them separate. And the archer does have a blue circle around him. If you are in that blue circle, you will not be able to use any magic at all. That means any ability that costs magic you will not be able to use. So that's kind of why I stay outside the blue circle and try to do what I can here. Anyway, enjoy the first encounter, guys. Alright, now that we beat the first encounter, the 3 bosses, we come on to the second encounter. So this one, I just try to DPS the boss as much as I can. There will be the stranglers that appear on the outside of the ring, or kind of outside of the map here. They do shoot poison. If a lot of them come up, they can be very deadly. So what I do here is I just try to focus on the first lurcher. They are color coordinated, so the first one that comes up will drop an orange kind of ball thing that you can synergize on to grab for protection. I'll talk about that here in a minute when it comes that time. So he dropped the orange ball, I synergized and picked it up. And now I'm trying to kill the blue lurcher for Rams. So that way Rams will have the blue orb to grab for him to keep him alive. So here I just try to melt the lurchers as fast as I can. while trying to keep some AoE damage going on the boss as well to kind of help defeating him, obviously. 2 more lurchers will come up, and that's where I use my ulti right here to try to kill the lurchers down, including the boss as well. So you guys have to remember what colors you pick up as well, so if you guys do 4-man it, each person will have to grab their own color. So since I grabbed orange, Rams grabs the blue one. Here we go back, and I get in the orange aura that Spriggan's got around him, protecting me from that blast attack right there. It is very deadly. So here, I'll just try and heal me and Rams back to full health after that blast mechanic the boss does. And I'll try to hurry and take out some stranglers on the sides just to kind of help get rid of that poison damage that occurs. And then I'll just try to kind of keep Rams healed as much as I can while DPS on the boss as well. I don't take out all the stranglers just as much as I can before the lurchers start to show up, because we do have to get back and take lurchers out again. So first color is going to be orange. It's always the same colors first. So I'll always kill the orange first here. I will grab the orange synergized ball for me. And the blue one comes out next. That one's for Rams. By the time the green and red come out, I should have an ulti ready that I can use on both the lurchers and the boss to kind of help DPS them both down. If you are good enough, you only have to get in the aura things like twice. So we've already done it once. Here, we just have to hurry and melt the green and red down as soon as red shows up. I've got my ulti ready. I'm trying to make sure Rams is healed too, because he's tanking a lot right here. So I'll pop ulti. This will kill the green and red. I'll try to DPS the boss, because I know the ulti will mostly kill the lurchers in time before the mechanic happens. So here, we're fortunate. We get everything down. DPS the boss as much as I can. We get back in our little aura of protections. We always make sure our overshields are up and blocking here too, just to make sure we don't take as much damage. Now I'm back on the boss. I'll get rid of more stranglers. So after that blast mechanic, I always take out stranglers, because in the past when we tried this, those things killed me. They killed me really fast. I was poisoned super fast, died really quick. So I try to make sure those are taken care of. There's not a lot of those, so it doesn't get overwhelming. Here, now the lurchers are back. Here we still try to grab the balls that they drop, just in case I'm not able to kill the boss in time. But here we are able to just two-phase the boss. And I say two-phase, we're only how to get in the auras twice, with the little Spriggans kind of protecting us. So here I got my ulti coming up. We'll get rid of the blue one, so Rams has his protection just in case he needs it. And then here I'll just try to finish off the boss once I get my ulti, which is almost there. And you can see, we just killed the boss, we two-phased it. So that one's not too bad as long as you just keep the stranglers dead and kill the lurchers quick so you guys can get those balls to protect you. A lot of people do this. We get overwhelmed inside with just 2 people. And I know people have done this in the past. I'm not too proud of it, but I mean, it happens. Ram's able to taunt the boss outside here, so we miss a lot of the mechanics inside, which really helps 2 people out. I know there's a lot of videos up that show how to kind of cheese and stuff like that. So anyway, we just pull him outside here. There's not a whole lot here. It's just Rams just tanks him. I'll just burn him as much as I can. And I'll just heal from time to time when I can as well, if Rams gets weak or if I get weak. But this is just, you just DPS him. There's no mechanics involved when you bring him outside. So this one's just fairly simple, guys. Fairly simple.
Scorching heat, smoldering flesh. Burn beneath the flames. Behold the werebear's might. I'll strike you down.
Alright, so once we clear that encounter, we kill some ads, stuff like that. Now we're here on the 4th encounter with the Indrik. This one, is the one that gave us the most problems in the whole dungeon. We're able to clear ads pretty good. Obviously, you guys know mechanics by now, but the mechanics on this one, before the boss comes out, the wisp move around. You got to stay in crouch mode. Make sure you move around and crouch the entire time. If you do stand up or cast a spell or anything, you will get caught, and it's going to spawn you up in the air. You're going to fall down. It's going to do a little bit of damage, not much. If you get hit 3 times during the wisp encounter, you get higher and higher each time. So you'll fall from like a minimal distance. The second time a little bit higher. The third time you'll fall really far, and it's just going to kill you. So if you get hit 3 times during the wisp encounter, you will die, which will screw up your guys' flawless run. So here the boss comes out. This boss can one-shot most healers, DPSs. So the thing on this encounter is Rams will always make sure he's got his far taunt ready to taunt the boss to make sure it looks at him all times. And what the DPS and healers, you guys want to make sure you guys aren't facing, make sure the boss is not facing you. So I'm always going to try to be on the boss's behind, like kind of where he's not facing me. But this one you just want to DPS the boss as much as you can. I think it's like every 20% he'll go into that wisp phase. So about 80% he'll come in. One thing you do got to watch out for is you can see this butcher showed up. Butchers are super tough. They can trap you. If they trap you, then they have their power attack where they can just one-shot you and kill you. Butchers, yeah, you can see he's powering up right there. Butchers are a must. Like, you have to let go of the boss's DPS, and you have got to kill the butchers first. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to succeed. So, Butcher's dead. I was able to get back on the boss. So you can see almost 20% of the boss's health has been down. And now it's back to the wisp phase. And each wisp phase gets a little bit harder each time. The first time it was just the wisp. Now there's a little bit of AoEs that show up in some of the Indriks that run around, kind of like the deer. So if you get hit by those too, it's going to spawn you up in the air. So 3 times and you wipe. So you want to make sure you're cautious that you're kind of moving around. Keep your camera spinning, looking around, just to make sure that you know where everything's at, what's coming at you, because you don't want to get hit. So here we usually take sides here, but I'm always trying to keep my camera kind of moving to make sure that nothing's behind me or coming at me. So here we got the boss to spawn in again. I'll try to get behind the boss so I'm not facing it. Anyone can interrupt the Indrik as well. We thought whoever interrupted the Indrik's attack obviously was going to do the one-shot mechanic on you, but anyone can interrupt. So that's good to know if you need to help the tank out in case you can't get there in time with sprinting, stuff like that, to save him some stamina. So here it's just the same thing. I'll just try to get on the boss's backside so he's not looking at me. Occasionally he will do that. He'll throw out the Indriks that are kind of, I don't know, they go right in the direction of where you're at, so you gotta watch out for those. There are times where I get hit by those, and then I get trapped from the butcher, and it's a wipe. Kind of sucks. So you just gotta make sure you can kind of see the boss. Watch out for his mechanics. Make sure you keep the tank healed while DPSing. And I'm always trying to look around for butchers, and same with the tank. That's what Rams was really well at doing. As soon as he saw a butcher, he'd call it out, the location. Same with me. That's all I was kind of looking out for as well. So having a max orc with ranged DPS really helps out too. So I'm not right up in the boss's grill. I can kind of look around and see a little bit more. So we see the butcher coming to Ram's left over there. So he's kind of in the fire. Sometimes it's hard to tell when it interrupts. So Ram's able to get the interrupt right there because I couldn't see it, which is awesome that he was able to get that. There's a power attack. You can block that or roll away from it. I do not think it one-shots you unless you're trapped. I think it's hit me before when I was just at full health and it didn't kill me, which I was thankful for. So here we got the butcher down, and then we're just back on the boss. So this time another 20%. He's down to, now he's less than 60%, so he's about 80, 60. So he's a little under 60, and then another wisp mechanic. So he's a little bit harder. Now we have AoEs, and you do not want to cross paths with another person that has an AoE. So if you guys are running 4-man dungeon, only 2 people will have this AoE. So the other 2 people just want to make sure they stay away from them, not to get in there. So Rams will just take one side of the map. I'll take the other side. That really helps us out. Here I got lucky. Actually, no, I didn't. I thought I got lucky there. So that's my first time getting hit. If I get hit 2 more, obviously I'll die. Kind of unfortunate that a deer came from one side and the other side, and I wasn't really mentally prepared there. But we do pretty good. There was one time, one of the earlier runs, we actually were able to do this without getting hit at all, and we actually got an achievement. So if you do this whole encounter with all the wisp encounters, you don't get hit at all, no one gets hit. There's actually an achievement for it. It was pretty cool. So we got a couple achievements doing this run. So here we are back on the boss. When he doesn't go on that fire thing, he's immune. So we just got to make sure we keep the tank healed, and then also just look out for butcher, stuff like that. So I think this is one of the toughest 2-man dungeon fights encounters in any dungeon, to be honest. This one can get overwhelming from time to time. So it's just healing, DPSing, staying behind the boss, and just keeping an eye on the butcher. So I've got most of the map in front of me, so I can kind of see if a butcher comes out. And then just trying to heal Rams, make sure we interrupt the butcher's attack so he doesn't trap Rams or me. And then just trying to get rid of him. So once he's down, we can get back on the boss. So about 40% the boss should go in that phase. Obviously he's under 40%, so we're actually able to get a little bit more DPS on the boss, which is awesome. So another butcher comes out, so I'm just going to take off, not worrying about the boss right now. I'll try to watch Rams' health right here, so I interrupt the butcher. Trying to watch Rams' health in case he needs healing as well as I'm dealing with the butcher. Keeping him alive, obviously, is the most important thing, so he can taunt the boss. Otherwise, the boss will have that heavy attack that can kill DPS and healers. So I know I said every 20%. That's what it felt like. So it looks like we're actually going to go from about 57%, I think it was. We're down to 25 now. So that's a big, huge jump. Sometimes it's hard when the butchers do get in the fire. If they're in the middle of the fire, it's hard to tell when the interrupt attack should happen. There I got really fortunate. I was able to kind of see it, able to interrupt it so it didn't happen. We got Rams healed just in time before that heavy attack was able to do any real damage or kill him, which was awesome. So we got him down to 20%. So 57 to 20%, we got a 40% jump there. Boss doesn't have a whole lot of health. And then the third Wisp encounter, this is the toughest one. Now there's fire that can move around as well. So you got fire, some AoEs on the map, AoEs around you, and then also the Indrix that run around. So this one you got to be super aware. 4 people I'd imagine would be a little bit harder, just because there's not as, for me and Rams it's just us two, so we have a lot of room to move. Having 4 people, if 2 people get the AoE on them, obviously they're gonna have a hard time moving. I got hit there again, unfortunate. I wish that I had the recording going for the one that we didn't get hit. That way you guys can see the achievement. It was actually really cool how we were able to do it. But anyway, we almost got the boss dead. I've got an AoE around me, so I kind of want to stay away from Rams a little bit. Rams has him taunted, so he's facing him, which is awesome. I'll just kind of stay behind the boss. So you can see a butcher just landed over to the left. He's coming out, so I'm going to hurry and try to focus on him. I got to make sure Rams is healed. So there's the interrupt attack. So you can see out of the fire, it's a lot easier to see. There's the power attack. We can just roll dodge out of it. Keep Rams' health up. So the butcher's down. And I did use my ulti thing in the boss. We can melt the boss, and the boss teleported, so I did lose an ulti there. Maybe a Storm Atronach would have been better, just because the boss does teleport a lot, move around a lot. It can help with the butcher, stuff like that. So it's definitely situational how you use your ultis. Another butcher came out. There was one time we had 2 to 3 butchers out at one point, and it got overwhelming. So that's why I say take care of the butchers first. You can see the boss almost dead, and I said ignore it. I'm just gonna kill the boss, and then he goes immune, does the fire thing. So able to kill the butcher, and then make sure Rams is healed, and then here we just finish off the boss here. So that one's not too bad as long as you guys make sure that the tank has the boss facing him away from you guys' DPS and healers, and you'll be totally fine. So alright, so we made it to the final encounter. It cleared every encounter in the dungeon so far with no deaths, and now we're at the boss. So kind of the same thing like the encounter before. Rams does a really good job at this. He'll tank the boss, keep it facing him, and I'm just going to stay behind the boss just to make sure that I don't take too much damage or anything like that happens. There are a couple things that the boss can do that really hurt me or can kill me. So I try to play a little bit of a distance. I try to get my wall of elements on the boss to increase my DPS when I can. This one you just want to rotate between the islands and the water. You'll see us do that from time to time. So on the islands they do have like venomous poison plants that pop up, so you got to make sure you're in the water. And then after that, then you go back to the island. So here we're on the island, now we're going to go back to the water, so make sure you get to the AoE. So now the islands are going to be poisonous, stuff like that, so we just want to be back in the water where it's safe. We're just going to keep DPS on the boss. And every 20%, the boss will go immune. You'll have to look for the trap that's been placed, and then you got to lure the boss to it. So one person will have an AoE underneath him. As you can see here, the boss is about to go immune, so he does his roar. So right here, Rams has the AoE underneath him, so Rams has the boss chasing him, which means Rams has to go find the trap, lure the boss to it, and stand behind it. And then here I'm just able to try to take out some of the wolves, otherwise they get overwhelming in Vet as well. So I try to focus on the wolves, make sure all the wolves are down. That way I can just focus back on the boss without any trouble with any other ads giving me problems like that. So here you can see we're just back in the water as the islands are poisonous, just keeping Rams healed, DPS when I can. The ice breath that the boss does and that charge right there are pretty lethal to DPS and healers. So just make sure to watch out for that. So now we got to get back to the island because the water is going to be electrified. So it's just kind of rotating there. So Rams will do that. He'll take the breath to face him away from me. Otherwise that can be lethal. Here I feel like I lucked out there. Was kind of on the edge of it, which very fortunate. So one thing while we're going through this encounter, one thing I want to mention. Me and Rams actually beat the whole dungeon flawlessly. When I was using my 4K capture card, what happened when we beat the boss last night? My 4K capture card crashed, so we weren't able to get the recording of the achievement popping up when we beat the boss. It was super unfortunate. So we actually came back in here again, got to the boss. This is our second time beating him, just to show you guys that we are capable of doing it two-man. And then I will have the achievement showing you guys that we did get the achievement after we beat the boss here, just so you guys know that we did do it. Kind of unfortunate that my 4K capture card crashed right at the end after the achievement. We were freaking out, we were super excited, and then just some unfortunate luck on our side as well. So anyway, just rinse and repeat. Just make sure you take care of the wolves. Make sure you go between the water and land, and then the tank, just make sure he's got the boss focused on him, away from the DPS and healers. Just make sure they don't take the damage. And I believe the tank can take those AoEs. We just want to play it safe, so we just both get out of AoEs, kind of stay away from whatever we can. We got to this point where, like, you know what, like, it would suck if he one-shot one of us or if one of us died. So we just wanted to play it safe, just kind of stay out of his AoEs, his way of anything like that. So, so here was coming to 40%. I just wanted to get away from the breath right there, otherwise that thing can be lethal to me. So now we just got to get back on the land. So he's almost 40%, which means he's going to go immune again, do the roar, and then one of us gets that AoE. I think it's me this time that gets it. We'll find out here in a second. Nope, so it's Rams again. And I kind of like it when it's the tank, because I can kind of focus on moving around and trying to kind of weaken wolves, stuff like that, while he finds the trap. So here he found the trap. He's going to lure the boss over there. I've got my ulti, and I can just mill everything. Obviously, I decided to save it here, which was very fortunate for us, I believe. Alright, and we're getting close to 20% in here, so just remember, keep DPS on the boss, keeping your tank healed, and then just rotating between land and water is definitely beneficial. And then me and Rams really like two-manning things. We also want to start helping the community out. I've had people comment on videos, people reach out to me through whispers, Xbox messages, saying they're not part of, like, they don't have a lot of friends that play the game. They're not involved like in any guilds. They have hard times with trials, vet dungeons. They always play with like scrubs or the randoms. They have a hard time. So me and Rams decided we're gonna start helping people out. If you guys need help with trials, dungeon clears, you guys can Xbox message me. You guys can see my gamer tag up there in the top left, Gents8768. What me and Rams are gonna do is, if you guys are champion 160 or above, you guys are having a hard time maybe with Skullcrawler Peak, maybe you guys want Azan's monster set, helmet, stuff like that. We'll definitely start doing carries for free. So if you guys want to come play with us, if you guys need some dungeon clears, trials, definitely come jump in with us. We'll help you guys get the clears, gear, monster sets that you guys need, stuff like that. We love helping the community out as much as we can. I appreciate you guys for the feedback, the follows, the subscribes you guys have done for me to support me to keep doing this. I really appreciate it. So here, now that the boss is really low, I think under 10%, more wolves just keep spawning in, I believe. So you don't have to wait for that mechanic. You can see more wolves just showed up. So right here I'm just trying to take care of wolves, keep Rams healed, and I think they just keep kind of showing up from time to time. So you want to make sure you get rid of the wolves. Otherwise, if two groups of wolves come in, it can get overwhelming. So now we're on this mechanic, which I believe more wolves just spawned in again. So I was actually able to take out a few, which was awesome. You can see a few more starting to chase me, and there's a bunch more right behind the boss. So right here can kind of get overwhelming. One time I got trapped out in the water. A bunch of wolves were like interrupting me. I couldn't get out of the water and I died. So taking care of the wolves is super beneficial to this fight. Right here, we got most of the wolves down. I decided, you know what, hey, like, let's just bring out the Atronach, help me burn a couple of these. Boss is almost dead. I just wanted to hurry and finish it as fast as I could. I was just super excited that we're here, about to beat the boss. And I didn't have my other ulti, so I was like, you know what, let's just get any help I can. So here I'm just trying to use as much magic as I can to keep us healed, burn the boss, and then we beat it. Super awesome. This is the first time we actually cleared the dungeon. We're like, where's the achievement? Why is it not popping up? What's going on? We actually later read that every encounter had to be completed, including like the Indrik secret spots. Every ad had to be killed. So here we actually skipped a couple ads in our very first run. So we're waiting for the achievement to pop up. It's not popping up. So that's when we ran it again. The capture card wasn't working. So I was like, you know what, Rams, let's just take a screenshot of our achievement, Survival of the Fittest right there. Rams is next, and we were sending on the boss. It was awesome. It was such an accomplishment to be able to two-man that flawlessly. One of the toughest things I've done with somebody in a game. And when you beat it, man, it feels so satisfying. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments, anything you guys want. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everything you guys do for me. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, definitely come into my stream, ask me. And we'll look forward to playing with you guys in the future with any dungeons you guys need help with. So thanks, guys. Peace out.